Okay, welcome back, guys. This time we're going to deal with the alarm on this car, and this one here absolutely is dead. You can tell sometimes when your alarm is starting to go because it's going to sound as if Donald Duck got shot in the rear end by what's his name there, Elmer Fudd.
Okay, where is the alarm? The alarm, very simply, is located right in here, right underneath there. So what we need to do is remove their 7 screws, their torque screws, and a torque screw, well, uses a Torx bit remover. So let's see if we can get that focused. So you can see there, it's a star. Okay, let's see if we can get that focused. There we go. That's a good shot there. See what it looks like? Okay, so you got that in, you got this end. You can go with either one, or you can buy them in socket set format. Okay, and this one here, the one you need for this car is a T25. What does a T25 mean? It's the size of them. Okay, so these guys here, very simply, just pop them in there. And what does, let's show you what the bolt looks like, the head of the screw. See that? So this guy just goes right in there, find the groove, and just back it off. Okay, just keep backing it off, take them all off. Once you've removed all 7 of them, we'll come back and I'll show you how to easily remove your windshield wiper blades.
I've already pre-lubed the wiper arms because you have to remove them. And the reason I did that is I tried videotaping this a few minutes ago, and it took me like 20 minutes just to get this one loosened up with some heavy duty penetrating oil. So anyways, I've got it going now. Here's the tool I'm going to be using to remove the wiper blades. Okay, very simple. It's specifically designed for that. So you'll see the nut, okay, on the wiper blade itself. It's going to go there. Then this goes on the nut, and as it pushes downwards, right here, it's going to grab the actual arm itself, and it's going to lift upwards. So it'll pop it right off. So we take a look. Just get this guy lined up on top there. There we go. Still a little tight, but it's coming off. Try to remember the angle that you put it in. Don't use anything underneath here to pry it off, because you still have some windshield underneath here. So just be careful. If you can't get this tool and you absolutely have to use a pry bar or something like that, just be careful while everything around me falls to the ground. So let's get this guy as well. Let me bring you in. I'm going to show you this here. Yeah? Take a good live close look. Okay? So, as you can see, it slides underneath the arm and it goes under. Whoops. Let me open this up a little bit more. Okay, so it's going to find the nut. It's going to go in there. Now, the top part that I'm screwing in, as you can see, is going on the nut. And what that is doing is putting pressure against the nut while lifting the arm itself. Okay, now you got to get it in there, squeeze kind of tight. Get it off. Oops. I got my lock nut on top here. Let's see if it'll come off now. Almost. Okay, so let's get this going here. You get the disc. There's a lock nut. I just forgot to unlock it, and now I can't move it. So let me put you back up here. We will continue on with this. Sorry for the fingers. Okay, and let's see here. Take that off real quick. Continue this. This is probably the longest part, is just taking off the windshield wiper blades. Not the blades, but the wiper arms themselves. There we go. See, at one point it'll go like pop and it'll just release itself. It's a really tight fit. Now, we did that. We took off everything. This part, whoops, I don't need to take off this part. This part now is ready to come off. Okay, and oh, there's a little tie wrap right there. Guess that never been opened before. Okay, so let's get this guy out of the way. We got one here too. A couple of tie straps. There we go. And oh, stop doing that. Get that kid there. And here we go. Okay, so behind here, this slip, you're gonna feel some wires and cables. Just get in there and just, you can pry them off or pry them open. Let's see if we can lift this up a little bit more. And maybe I can get to show you what I'm talking about there. Okay, so it's one guy that just stuck. Always the way. Okay, and this guy, there we go. All right, so let's see if I can get you back here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Should have told you. There's a second wire over here. And this one as well. You can just lift this little guy up. See as I lift this right here? Okay, that'll pop right out. Now, you can take the cowling off. Okay, put it aside. There'll still be your windshield wiper reservoir fluid hose that goes to the injectors right there. I'm going to leave that on because there's absolutely no reason to take it off at this point. It still gives me a lot of room to work on here, so makes life a lot easier. Now let's get back to the mission at hand. Okay, so this inside one is a 13 millimeter. Go figure. Okay. All right, there we go. That one was 13. The welded nut on there is 14, but it's yeah, that's welded on, so you're not gonna take that off. So in here, here's your alarm. Okay, it is held with one plug right there. You just squeeze those together and it'll come off, and then you can do the reverse, put in your brand new alarm, do everything in reverse, and you are all set with something that sounds a little bit better and will work for you as a security feature. You can get the part, you can get the alarms over, I know that Rob over at needswings.com. That's needswings.com. Have I got something? Yeah, where is it? I got a little sticker. Okay, there. Needs Wings. So 2 S's, sorry. So yeah, he's got alarms that you can buy. You can also find them through online like eBay and get them cheap from China. But yeah, remember, you get what you pay for, guys. Those batteries inside, that's what's going to make it last or not, because these guys go, because inside of this there's a couple of Verta batteries, and what happens over time, if ever you open up an old toy or something, and when you open it up and the batteries were so old that they leaked and there's acid all over the place, well, that's what happens inside here, and that acid will eat the computer board that sits there and will just fry it crisp. That's why the alarm can work even if the car battery does not work. It's got its own separate internal batteries. Depending on the type of unit that you also buy, you may have to keep this bracket. Now on the inside, you're gonna see it's another Torx. But this one, if you take a look, there's a pin inside. So it's called a security Torx. Security Torx looks like this here. Here, let me get the big guy out. Okay, so these guys, same as the other one, except they have a hole in the middle. Okay, and that hole can go over the pin, and now you can remove certain certain parts that have these security Torx. Okay, so I'm gonna put everything back together. I'm gonna clean everything up really, really well. Then I'm gonna pass the hose in here, make sure that all the 3 drains, sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4 drains are completely free of debris. And then I'm gonna clean up some of this mold that's in here as well. Now, while we are in here, I want to show you guys something. A lot of people complain they get water inside the footwell, right in there, okay? That's dark, I know. There we go. Right in that area there. It gets all wet. So, I'm going to show you what happens. And you've got electronics at the bottom of that area there too. So you got to be careful. So if you take a look, there's a lot of leaves, a lot of debris. Okay, look, oh geez, look at that. Look at that. Okay, this is completely plugged. Right there, there's a hole. Okay, that goes down, all the way down to the bottom of the car. And the water will leak right from underneath there. So that's when your car, either you're washing your car, it's raining or whatever, and all the water is coming down on the top of your windshield. It's coming down in here, it's going over your cowl. Remember all the grills there. That's meant to absorb the water to let it drop into here. Here's another tube. That's a another water tube that is exactly right, see? Right there. So a lot of the water will go into this one. But now you got right in here, okay, kind of gross there, but let me show you. You should see. Let's see if we can get you focused. Okay. Right, there we go. You see that little hole right there? Well, that's for the water that goes in here and then overflows into here, and then goes down the hole that's supposed to be there. But when this is all full of debris like this, guess where the water is going to go, right? Look at that. That's your blower fan right there. Yeah. So it goes over the blower fan, into the filter, on top of the filter. And if ever you take off your air filter, your in-cabin air filter, and you see all sorts of leaves, and you say, how the heck did that get there? Well, they come from here. And they just go into there, fall down, get stuck in your filter. That's why you need to change your filter a couple of times a year. Now, the water rushes down in here, goes right down into the cabin, right at the footwell. And now, as I mentioned, you got lots of electronics underneath your footwell. So if you ever want to see what you got underneath there, just pull back the carpet and you'll pull back a big white piece of foam about 1 inch thick, and you'll see you got your stereo amp and you got a lot of other electronic gadgets that are in there. So you don't want to fry that. So do this if you live and you park your car outside and you got pine trees. Look at that, right? You got all sorts of trees. Do this a couple of times a year. Okay, now I want to show you another one. Right down, see where my finger is pointing? There's another hole. You can kind of see it right there. Okay, right there. Right there. So that one is kind of full. It's not bad. But then there's another one way at the other end. And ooh, Yeah, that one's got a lot of junk in there. So let's go take a look at that one. Right? Well, that one's got so much junk, it's holding back the water, just as we were talking about. Okay? So right in here, okay, if you dig with your fingers, you can start hearing it drain. See? See where it's draining? All right? There's the hole right there. There's the hole right there. Okay? So clean out this area. Sometimes you'll need a vacuum. Sometimes you'll need compressed air. If you don't have a compressed air, you can use a long tube. You can go to the dollar store and you can buy these gadgets here designed for cleaning toilets and such. And it's got long handle. And all you got to do is just grab this thing, right? Put it in there. And then you just push it all the way down, like I'm doing. Bring it back up and down, and it'll clean up all that stuff. So, as you can see, there, I just pulled out a whole pile more. Okay, so do that a couple of times a year. Save yourself some headaches. Save yourself some money from having electronic failures. You don't want that happening. You saw how simple it is to remove the bolts, the nuts, everything. The only thing, when you come back to reinstall, align these guys, okay? This is just a clip. It's a nut, okay? So your screw goes in here and it tightens up at the bottom, and that's how your nut gets tight. So make sure you align them in the middle of each holes. See, like this one is not. So if you were to try to come in and install the screw, it wouldn't have gone in there. So get them all nicely aligned, and you may have to play with them a little bit when you're installing the last bolts, but that should not be a problem. Okay, back at it, and we'll take a look now. So you can see the drain now. There's that drain there. Then this partition, okay, you can see it goes right through. So no more leaves can get stuck in here and go in there. I know for a fact that, because I can see leaves. Can you see the leaves? Okay, I can see the leaves. I know for a fact in the next couple of minutes when I get underneath there and I take that cover off, it's gonna be a mess. So anyways, that's clean now. That's clean. This is all clean. The alarm is back on. The new one is back on. I didn't connect it yet, but it's the same process as reverse. There's that other drain there, nice and clean. This guy had no issues. There was no leaves that got stuck because of the screen on the cowl. Now, the big problem that we had, if you remember, was right in here. There was still standing water in here. Okay, well now you can see the drain, and that's all clean as well. While I was at it, I decided to grab some disinfectant and just spray it all over the place and wipe it off, because it did have some green funky mold, I guess. And if ever the interior of your car smells moldy, well, this could be coming from right in here, because your fresh air is coming from right in there. So it's sucking in air from all these dead leaves that are decomposing and making a mess. So take 5 minutes, scrub everything down, disinfect everything. You can take off the little molding here, clean that up too, as I just did. Put it back in, nice and snug. Put your cowling back on top, reconnect your wires, and put your windshield wiper arms back on, and you are all done. All right, so I thought I was done. I'm not done. I dropped my 14mm bolt right where the battery tray is, right in between here and here. So I decided just to take out the battery, and look what I found. There's another drain right on my fingertips. I know it's dark, you can't tell, but it's there, okay? And then there's another drain right about there. So, guess what, guys? You need to clean this stuff up too. Yeah, this is, get the hose and the vacuum and this here, but here, just to give you an idea. Okay, more junk to add to the already pile right here. So, all right, so I'm gonna keep cleaning it, make her nice and clean, and then I see that there's some mold on this stuff too, so I'm gonna clean that up, and then I'm gonna spray some empty rust on this battery tray here, just to keep it from getting downright dirty and falling apart. So, all right, guys, that's it. Okay, so again, please subscribe and click like and let your friends know. Okay, thanks. Have a great day.